Hey guys, I'm Luke Hector and this is the Broken Meeple giving you another board game review, and most of you would probably not have even heard of this one. This is probably the definitive of a hidden definition of a hidden gem. I found this at the expo from Miso Games, but I know that about 5 or 6 other publishers have done this as well around the Asian region. But this is Small Islands, and I'd never even heard of this game. I just saw it on the table at the Miso game stand and thought, oh, that looks quite pretty, and it kind of gives me a kind of Carcassonne vibe. I'll have a look at it and see what's what. Spoiler alert, I'm glad I did. Wow. Just to put a little tagline, this game is making me question if I want to hang on to Carcassonne. What? It's that. Oh god, yes. Now I'm not saying like this is like 10 out of 10 material, but then Carcassonne was never that as well. But Carcassonne was a tile laying game. It's been around since 2000. It's a gateway classic, a staple, and it's a great one. You build up a little map in a communal map, you put your guys out on it and you score points. This has a very similar type of feel. You're putting out tiles, except you're building a very pretty like archipelago type location. You build up multiple islands and the islands have symbols on them, and what you're trying to do is every round you're trying to build islands in such a way with the help or hindrance of other players so that you can score the most points in each round via some objective cards. There's a basic way to play the game where the objectives and the conditions are all on one card, but I recommend you just jump straight into the advanced version, which has the cards separated out. So you have a separate deck of conditions and a separate deck of objectives. You always get to pick from 3 in any given round, and you basically go, I want to score for the anchor symbols, okay, but in order to get the condition, I could use that one that requires anchor symbols, that could work, or maybe the condition could be that it has a couple of temples on it. Well, some of those islands have got temples, you know what, I'll pair that with this, and so you can create your own objectives each round. But it plays very similar to Carcassonne. I mean, you have 2 tiles in your hand, always, and then you you draw one from a face-up line, and then you pick from one of the 3 to put out onto the board. And of course, like in Carcassonne, it must make sense. So islands must connect to islands, sea must connect to sea, etc. But here's where the differences start coming in. With this one, as I say, they've got various resource symbols and stuff like that over the island. So the cards that you're trying to achieve in each round are based on those symbols. So you're trying to, I might have a condition that wants me to get lots of dragon fruit on, I forget it was dragon fruit or something, star fruit, but tons of that on an island. So as I'm building an island, I'm going, oh, that tile's got some more of that fruit, okay, I'll stick that onto that island. And then other players might add to the island because they want to score in it as well. And in order to score, if you meet your condition, you put a little wooden house on there. But there's limited spaces and your island may or may not have a lot of house spaces. Usually you do, but there have been occasions where the island is small enough so that turn order makes a big difference in terms of, oh great, there's only 2 houses on there, and if all of them meet the condition, I'm not going to get a place. Yikes, what do? Do I abandon it, or do I just, hope for the best? But on top of that, the way that each round ends is pretty sweet, because you don't end the round after a set number of turns. There's a stack next to the face-up line of tiles where you draw from those first, but as soon as that stack runs out, somebody can place their ship tile, which is another tile that's surrounded just by ocean, and when they place that, they end the round and you go on to an interim scoring phase. But you only get one of those in the game, and there's maximum 4 rounds. I mean, it could end in the 3rd round, but most of the time you're going to end in the 4th round. But in doing so, you might think, right, well, I've got a good position here. I'm going to put my ship next to that island and I'll start scoring in the 1st round, and that worked out quite well. You've now spent your ship tile. It's stuck there in the middle, which means you can't end the round in a future round. Somebody else has to end the round. So you might be at a position where it's like, I really don't want everybody else to get loads of points, but I now can't stop the round because I've already played my tile. Was it the right decision to do that in the 1st round, or did I act a bit too prematurely? It's a cool little system. But, oh my god, it's just, there's a lot to talk about with this game, because it sounds like just another Carcassonne clone, and it is very similar, hence I'm kind of debating which one I prefer, but the way that everybody builds up the islands in different ways. These objectives, they require different types of islands. You might get a reward that rewards you for having loads of tiles in one island. Great, I want my island huge and grand and like whatever, but you're probably only scoring that one island. Whereas you might think, well, hang on, this card's giving me bonus points just for having a house down, or a discovery token, which is like a randomized point thing. And it's like, well, as long as I meet the condition, I'm getting a reasonable amount, so maybe I'll just make a bunch of tiny islands and score each in one of those, you know. So you've got different tactics that you'll employ each round depending on which of the objective and reward cards that you pick. So mechanic-wise, I really enjoy this, and as a bonus, you've got a solo mode as well, where there's a very well thought out AI deck of multiple levels of difficulty, although the later difficulties are like, are they even possible? But it makes the AI act in different ways. So it tells you where the tile should go based on where you've placed your tile. So you have even more tactical choices because you'll think, well, if I place my tile there, there's chances are he's not going to be able to put a tile down. So they'll get it and they'll get an extra point. The solo mode works fine in this, I have to say. But component-wise, as I say, the box looks beautiful as it is. The rulebook is easy to understand, you know, not too complicated. But pieces-wise, you know, I mean, you just got like little wooden counters and a few little wooden houses. I mean, it's very pretty. We're not talking stellar, but the tiles, very nice quality. Very nice. I mean, these are quite thick, and I can show you better in this camera than I can the other one. But, you know, they've all got this kind of, shall we say, you know, colourful artwork. And as you can see, there's a space on the right there for a house symbol, and there's 3 symbols there. But I mean, there's all sorts of different ones. So like in Carcassonne, you know, you create all sorts of weird and wonderful like combinations, and your islands, your map will look different every single game, but the graphic design is easy to see. You can clearly see what symbols are on these things, even at a distance with the camera, and like I say, thank God for autofocus, eh? And you've got a fair amount of these tiles in the box, so it's not like you're short on them. But, you know, the box could be a bit smaller, that's the kind of thing though, because that bit in the middle is complete wasted space. I don't even know why the box is this big. I think it's just because the rulebook was that big. That's cheating. You could have made this a lot smaller. Although, if Taiwan wants to make an expansion for this game, then by all means, please do, because I would kill for an expansion for this. Because it's just a really good gateway level game. I mean, would I say it's gateway enough? Yeah, I don't think you need to be an avid gamer to understand this. Build the map, collect the symbols, and as I said, if it's real gateway level you want, then just ignore the advanced rules and use the objective cards where they're all printed on the same card, so you don't have that extra decision making to do. You just give everybody 3 objective cards, they pick one, then you get straight into building a map. Building a map's easy. You just connect it up so it makes sense. You're just telling them that, look at the condition on your card. What do you need? I need 2 lotus flowers and a temple on the island. Well, great. Get the tiles that have those symbols and plug them onto the board. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. The game doesn't take too long. I mean, you've usually wrapped this game up in about an hour. You know, you could do it in 45 minutes or less even with 2 players, but in solo mode should only take you about half an hour. But longest I've had this game go, about an hour and a quarter, and that was with new players, and even I was a bit hazy on the rules, and one of those players was a slow player. So typically you are looking at a not quite filler level, but you're certainly looking at a nice short light game. But I'm staggered by how much I enjoyed this one. It's weird. It's not like it's my best favorite game ever. I'm not kind of talking like that, but when I thought I'm playing this and I thought this is giving me a similar feel to Carcassonne, but I think I prefer this. I mean, try to convince me otherwise, that I should hang on to Carcassonne as well as this, because I ain't getting rid of this. I'm liking this game. I'm keeping it. But this would work in a game cafe as well. You know, I mean, it's got all the like Taiwanese writing all over it, but I mean, it's got English in there, so you can easily play this game. It's not, the language won't be a problem, but it's colourful. It's pretty, it's simple, it's got multiple tactical decisions to make, it has a solo mode, it will take anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes to play, it's easy to teach. Once you've got the rules in your head, teaching this is a breeze. It's just a solid gateway game, and I like these games where you build a communal map because they're so nice, they're so, like, they're picturesque, they pop on the table, and it means that it will look different every single time. So, as I said, this was a hidden gem. I didn't even know about this game before the UK Games Expo. I literally just sort of looked at this and thought, okay, this looks pretty. I didn't have time to try at the expo, but they were kind enough to give me a review copy, and I said I'd have a look at it, and I'm hooked. This is an instant into my collection. I do honestly think, I don't know, Carcassonne with expansions is still good fun, but you know, that can drag on a bit longer. You've got the farms, and the more expansions you add, the more convoluted it gets. But Carcassonne is still a fun game. I'll probably hang on to it, but this is really, really good. I mean, I would love to see expansions for this, you know, add more tiles, give some more interesting stuff to do on the islands, perhaps, more objective cards, you know, but I've got a solo mode here, and it's just a very nice, pleasing game. It's not kind of like that Zen level that I think of with like Takenoko, but it's just nice, pleasant, little gateway game. I really like it. I don't know exactly when outside of the UK Games Expo you're going to get this as a retail release, but certainly if you see this on the shelves anytime soon or wherever you are, I highly, highly recommend you grab this, okay? I mean, like I say, it's not like the best game ever, but I just think for what it sets out to do, it sets out to do it perfectly, and I love it. I get like booming like this whenever I come across these hidden gems where I'm like, I never thought I would like this game, or I never expected this game, or I'd never even heard of this game. Let's try it. And then you find a classic. This has, you know, I mean, I could, honestly, if this was a like American release or something like that, I could see this being a Spiel des Jahres like nominee. It's that kind of family weight category that I think would work well. So yeah, Small Islands for me gets a high level 8 rating. It is a really decent game. You know, I will bring this out every now and again, you know, and certainly enjoy playing it. It doesn't take too long. I reckon I could teach my parents this as an alternative to Carcassonne. But yeah, solid 8. This is definitely a game you should look out for if tile map building is your thing and you want something that's maybe a bit different from Carcassonne but still family weight level. Definitely check out Small Islands. So that's it for me. I'll see you on the next Broken Meeple review, and hopefully I've got a couple more you know, Taiwanese games to review. So you know, if you're looking for something a bit more different and unique from the typical norm, then you can look forward to some more reviews coming in the near future. So that's it for me. Take care, and remember, regardless of whether your island's big or small, or you've put way too many lotus flowers on my island for my liking, it's still only a game. Take care, and I'll see you on the next review.